Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a car that's pure drift royalty. It's a pretty recent release from MiniGT and of course it's the Nissan Silvia S15 in the top secret D1GP livery. So let's dive right in. And straight away you can see that we're not dealing with a standard style MiniGT because this one of course comes in this really awesome looking blister box. So this is the preferred format for a lot of these Japanese domestic market releases. It's really practical for shops and those things, and it's really nice for displayability as well. Although, to be honest, for me, it's kind of difficult to store these boxes away. It's just a lot easier to put these little ones away. But you can see we get a really beautiful, clear view of the car itself just over there. So it's not hidden in the box or anything. And it's got really beautiful markings, authorized D1GP, and of course officially licensed by Nissan as well. And what's really nice about this is we've got this beautiful image and this really cool little QR code, and this actually leads you to an awesome video of this incredible looking top secret Silvia winning the 2005 D1GP series. So that's really awesome. I'll put the link for this video down below so you can have a look at it as well. But let's open this car up and see why it's such a legend in the world of Japanese drifting. And now I've opened up the box. So with these blisters, different people do it different ways. Some just kind of cut it off at the top or the bottom. I like to sort of keep it in a way that it doesn't really do too much damage, although you'll never be able to seal it back up again. But I just cut it along this rear edge over here, and it just comes off like that. So it's not too bad in terms of the damage, but it can be a little bit finicky, especially with a really sharp blade. And in terms of price, you're looking at around about £20 for this model at the current market. So you can actually pull the whole thing out like that, and there you have it. It's out of the box. And of course we've got the standard style MiniGT box that comes along with it, and of course it's empty, so there is a little blister in there for the car but nothing inside. And of course it's number 714, cool little top secret logo, and the box looks really awesome with this graphic of the car from the side. So beautiful presentation, and let's check this car out. And as you can see, the base is a Nissan Silvia S15, the last generation of Silvia, loved for its balanced chassis, rear-wheel drive layout and tuning potential. Of course, the S15 became one of the most dominant cars in professional drifting. There was quite a few liveries and variations available of this car in the Pro Drift series, but this specific Silvia, however, was a top secret build prepared by Smokey Nagata's legendary tuning house. Top Secret was of course already famous for outrageous speed runs and bodywork innovations, and now their D1 cars ended up carrying that same DNA into the drift world. In this instance, the D1 Grand Prix, which is essentially Japan's main drifting stage, where style, angle and precision matter as much as the raw speed does. And the Silvia, driven under Ryuji Miki, ended up taking the 2004 championship, a really defining moment in the series. And of course, around that same time, another fan favorite was the Blitz R34 Skyline, driven by Ken Nomura, which is this car. My model of that Skyline is marked as a 2005 car because this was a later livery. However, it did share the track with the Silvia during the 2000s golden era of D1 drifting, and I'll be showing some cool pictures of the Silvia and Skyline side by side on my Facebook and Instagram as well, so check those out. And of course, if you want to see how the world of pro drifting looks like today, I've also covered Bagsy's Liberty Walk R35 GT-R, a modern monster compared to these earlier icons, so definitely check that one out as well if you haven't already. The links for both of these videos will be down below, and also subscribe to the channel because I've got some pretty cool upcoming videos in the future, some more awesome D1 legends. Right here we've got the Apex CRX7 by Tarmac Works, and of course the HKS Hypermax S15 Silvia, another absolute legend on the D1 racetrack. So all of these cars were competing for top spot in the D1 Grand Prix in the 2000s, and all of them would have been seen on the track at the same time. So I'll be reviewing these two as well in a future video, so stay tuned for that one. And straight up looking at the model overall, you can see the proportions are pretty much spot on for an S15 Silvia, and I can quickly compare it to the Tarmac Works, and you can even see that we've got pretty much the same scale and the wheelbases are pretty much identical as they should be, even though this one's Tarmac and this is MiniGT. But overall, beautiful look, really great stance, and of course the paint quality looks absolutely impeccable. We have this beautiful metallic flake in this typical top secret gold finish. It looks really smooth with a really nice even tone through it, and the decals look super sharp, no bleed or anything like that, and the overall presentation really captures this iconic D1 look. So let's give it its due and check it out in a little bit finer detail. So starting off with the roof, as usual, we've got some Japanese writing over there and the driver's name R Miki, and of course the roofline is classic Silvia, super low and slightly curved. And of course we head into the window, and straight away we've got this top window banner in this typical D1 Grand Prix orange, arrow backs, and the car was number 1, of course, vwopt.co.jp, all the little details that were actually on the real car. The glass is nice and clear, you can see all the interior as well as the roll cage, and we've got some 3-dimensional little windscreen wipers there as well. And of course now we head into this really cool looking bonnet, and quite a bit of intricacy over there with the detailing. We've got some air outlets. It's not punched through or anything, but it does have quite a bit of curvature to it. You can see we've even got details of some bonnet latches over there, and here we've got a bit of venting, of course, from the bonnet as well. This is where this car gets quite serious, because of course under the bonnet the real top secret S15 ran a heavily tuned SR20 DET with a big HKS turbo, Tomei cams, upgraded injectors, and a V-mounted intercooler setup. It was really good for well over 500 horsepower in drift specs. So this diecast can't really show that, but you can see we've got a lot of air outlets over here because that engine needed quite a lot of cooling. And of course it's finished off in this really beautiful style black, and we've got a lot of interesting little liveries over here. The top secret, of course, Daytona Pro spec, ORC clutches, Oberon, and quite a lot of nice little opening details as well, deep shut lines too. And in the front, Fusion Potenza RE, another clutch logo on both sides, and of course Yakomo in the center over there. And you can see that this angle actually shows off the aggressive bumper and splitter work quite well, because on the real car, aero wasn't just for looks. Top secret, of course, as usual, crafted wide arches, canards, and vents to keep the car seriously planted mid-drift. So you can see this kind of crazy looking front bumper and splitter work over here, and it looks pretty aggressive, to be honest. It looks really awesome. It's kind of got a bit of an organic feel to it. You can see that it's actually got quite a large opening for the vents. So if we compare it to the HKS one, you can see this one's a little bit thinner. However, this one does have a vent between the lights as well, and this one just completely took that part away. And of course, the beautiful canards over here, finished off in body color, accentuated in black. And of course, this front splitter also has a little logo over here, Raise Engineering. And of course we come to the lights, and they've got a lot of depth of detail in there, just finished off in silver. You can even see the bulb with this acrylic cover as well. And now we come to the front fender. Once again, the same kind of ORC logo, a little bit of a web address over there, and of course it stays very true to the original D1 livery. So we've got the D1 Grand Prix series, and we've got a massive shopping list of sponsor logos on the side there as well. Side indicator over there, but that's just finished in gold, so it's not highlighted in silver or orange or anything like that. And of course we come to these really awesome looking Raise 5-spoke wheels, just finished off in this chrome finished, and you can see that they spin really nicely and they look really awesome. We do have a little bit of a lip to them as well, and we've got some nice detailing, although there's nothing that's kind of colored in a different way, but you can even see the center hub and the little bolts running around it. So really amazing detailing, but of course no brakes or any kind of brake details, so that's pretty typical for MiniGT. And you can see that we've got the rubber over here, and it looks kind of like a pretty stretched tire on the car, which is actually quite insane, especially for a drift car. Of course, in real life we had these lightweight forged wheels, and they were paired with a really sticky drift compound tires tuned for grip and slip balance. But you can see how stretched they are here. That's quite a unique and interesting detail on this car. So if I show you the edge case one, it's pretty much just flat on the edge here. Interesting. And now we come to the side of the car, and straight away you can see how awesome it looks. It's got these little bit of wider fender arches. You can see a little bit of a side skirt over here and a small air outlet there. But of course, what takes the pièce de résistance is this huge top secret logo, performance engineering service on the side, and the livery looks super bold and absolutely eye-catching. Of course, this S15 was already a favorite chassis for drifting, but Top Secret took it further with this custom treatment of the body kit as well, and they also reinforced the shell for competition use. And you can see how this 1/64 variant really manages to capture those lines of the car and how cool this thing looks overall. More logos here: Endless, Cusco, Takata, Potenza, RE01, and of course we've got the typical Silvia DLO over here, and we've got a few logos there as well, like a little dragon, number 1. And of course we've also got this awesome aerodynamic wing on the side, and it's actually got a hole punched through it. However, there is no reflection in the mirror, so that is a bit unfortunate. Sometimes MiniGT does it, and sometimes they just kind of skip on that detail, but it looks pretty awesome and great visibility into the interior, and straight away we can see the roll cage in there as well. And heading into the C-pillar, we've got another D1GP web address, as well as Top Secret, Yokomo, and Vertex, who make the body kits, of course. And then here we've got the livery continuing this gold and black scheme, Raise Engineering, and a lot of three-dimensionality in this area. You can see we've got this really awesome 90s style JDM body kit. It's very square, and it usually gives this kind of skirted look on the rear, and you can actually see how the kit looks from underneath here as well. And while we're here, we can see the bottom of the car. It's got quite nice details. We've even got the gearbox, drive shaft, the exhaust, and quite a lot of nice little details. And even the exhaust is finished off in a different color, and it's quite an unusual color for the exhaust, so that's a really awesome detail that they've added in. And now we come to the rear wheels, and although in design they look pretty much identical to the front, you can actually see that the rims are staggered, so we've got quite a lot more depth in the lip of this car. And once again, they spin really nicely, and it looks pretty nice spinning around. And now we get to the rear side of the car. So of course, once again, the ORC logo, Fusion, Yokomo, tons of logos on this car, a nice Top Secret little number plate, and here you can see we've even got this sort of grill looking texture. Of course, it's not pierced through, but it does have a bit of depth built into it, and you can see it makes it look like it's got a clear mesh going all the way through. And of course, Potenza RE01R. And now we get to the exhaust system, and once again you can see it is kind of deep, but it's not finished off in black in the interior or anything like that. Of course, the real Top Secret S15 ran a full custom titanium exhaust system for better flow and cool sound as well. And now we get to these really interesting looking tail lights. So very typical of these 2000s era, and it was a big fad in the JDM world, was to have these clear style Altezza tail lights, as they were known, because the Lexus Altezza essentially had those as an OE spec style light. So we've got red bulbs in there, and then the silver ones as well, and just this clear acrylic cover, and it gives it a quite interesting look. And from this angle, you can also see that the rear has quite a steep angle on this back mask here. So you can see we've got a little bit of a fin sort of finish on the edge. It's a little bit more flat of a fall off as opposed to the standard Silvia. And now, of course, we get to this oversized GT wing here as well. Of course, it's a must for competition on the real car. it generated stability during the big angle transitions. And on the model, you can see it's finished off in this black color, and it's got the top secret Japan.com written on the back. And we've even got some stickers on the side that say Firemaster. And you can see how high it is off the top of the boot lid. And also from this angle, you can kind of see we've got this really interesting shape here with the wide body fenders going around the lights and this line curving all the way to the rear mask. So it gives it this kind of like flush tail look, and that's very cool. It's really quite sharp compared to the normal style Silvia. So really cool vibe from that. And then on the deck lid, we've got this really funky little like koala bear style stick figure graffiti thing. It's really awesome. I really like that. And of course, the rear window, top secret Japan, V-opt, bulletproof automotive. There's no defrost or anything like that either, but it actually gives us a bit of a view into the interior. So you can see we've got this panel over here. It's just pretty simplistic, but we can see the roll cage in there already. And if we look into the interior of the car, we can see how crazy stripped out it is. We've got these full-on bucket seats, typical of these drift cars. And we've even got the steering wheel over there, a lot of depth of detail. We've got a gear knob as well, and quite a few little buttons and things on the interior. Even have the door handles on the side of the door, the grab handle, and really a ton of detail on the inside of this car. Really suits this D1 stripped out style look. And once again, from this side, we can see a little bit better. There's even some gauges on that center console. So that's really awesome. And of course, if you have a look at the car from this side, everything looks pretty much normal. But if we rotate back to the other side, you'll actually spot that all the sponsor logos, or at least most of them, are actually reversed and written the other way around. Of course, the real car was just like this as well, because drift teams often mirrored the graphics so that the sponsor logos and designs looked balanced from both sides. And more importantly, it was so that they could be read clearly in photos as well as video when the car was sliding sideways. Just another quirky little detail that makes drift cars so unique. And of course, it was the same case on this one as well. So very typical style D1 things. And I really like the fact that they've even included that detail and stayed so true to the original car. And now we get to see the car from this low angle, just spinning around on the turntable, and we can really appreciate all the surfaces and the look of this car. We've got this really awesome looking body kit. It's really cut out for the D1 circuit, this massive wing, these really nice chrome rims. And of course, we've got this insanely beautiful livery. I think this car is absolutely gorgeous and would be a great addition to anyone who likes to collect these JDM cars, top secret cars, or of course these famous D1 drift cars. Altogether, I think it's a very faithful recreation in miniature of the legendary S15 drift car. The proportions are right, the livery is really beautiful and super accurate, and it really conveys the aggression of the real D1 Silvia. And what makes it special isn't just this gold paint, but of course the story behind it. A top secret build driven by Ryuji Miki, and it ended up winning the 2004 D1 championship. And that history is really what makes this car so iconic, and I think they've really nailed this one. And so that was my review on the top secret S15 D1 Silvia. And of course, if you're interested in awesome drift cars, check out this crazy D1 Skyline as well as Bagsy's epic GT-R, and stick around and subscribe to the channel because I'm going to have a few more really awesome D1GP cars coming up, and even some Formula Drift cars. So I've got a couple of Silvias here. I've got the whole lineup pretty much, and I've even got some newer Silvias as well, and these were featured on the channel a few weeks back, and I'll be putting the links for those down as well. And of course, as always, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Are you going to be picking this car up, and which is your favorite D1GP car? This Silvia, the Skyline, or one of the other two, or perhaps something else? And of course, thank you to everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Ciao.